I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way. And who shall wear the robe and crown? Good Lord, show me the way.
Have you ever noticed how many people you interact with on a daily basis? From the woman behind the counter at Starbucks to dropping your kids off at school. And that's just on a typical Tuesday. How about when you travel? The people you cross paths with, that grows exponentially as you go. If you share our ministry and mission mindfulness, would you consider these interactions opportunities to share about what women walking with God has to offer? It's pretty simple. Our friend Pat is a self-proclaimed introvert. She volunteers on our marketing team on behind-the-scenes projects. We have a fun story to share with you because God placed a special opportunity right in her lap.
Well, it was very interesting because Amy had asked me to do a interested host guide because of my IT background. Well, little did I know that the interested host guide didn't have a whole lot to do with IT. But it was interesting and it was exciting to be part of that. And gave me a sense of accomplishment to do something to help them out. Every winter we go somewhere south just to get out of the cold. And it was interesting because this year, we usually go to Tucson, but this year we went to Mission. There was a congregation that we were very fond of that we visited with about 4 years ago. The construction on the highway was so difficult that we decided we couldn't go back to that congregation, so we picked on this one that was in Mission. We attended there, and there was one message that the preacher had delivered of God's Word, and it was really great. And so it's my habit to encourage them when they have a message like that. So I sent an email to the church because I had no idea how to contact that preacher. So I told him what I felt about his message and what I got from it. And of course, the interested host guide had just been completed. And I was very proud of the way that it looked and what they had done with it. So I just put that in with the email and sent it on, and that was it. A couple Sundays went by, and the elder got up and he says, I want all the women to stay behind after worship is over. And he says, I've got something just for the women. And I thought, okay. So they were getting ready to dismiss, and I thought, well, we need to go because this is for the congregation women. And he says, well, there's this thing called WWWG. And Chad and I looked at each other, and I thought, what? Could this be what I'm thinking? And so I thought, we better kind of stay behind and listen. And he says, well, it's this conference for women. And, you know, he was just kind of butchering it, really. I mean, he was trying his best. And I thought, oh, my goodness. So I walked down the aisle a little bit, and I just held up my hand and said, I think I know something. And he says, oh, okay, come on down here. So I thought he was just going to ask me questions and hand me the mic. No, he just pushed the mic in my face and he says, here, take it. And all these women were asking all these questions. And I thought, oh my goodness, some of these things I don't know anything about. But I said, I know I'll get answers for them. And once we got through the conversation with the women, I started walking out, and just groups of them came to me and were so excited and were so thankful to me for sharing with them. They were just so overwhelmed, and it gave me a really great feeling. And every time I think about it today, I just feel really blessed that I was able to do that for them. Well, I knew immediately that they were going to be a host site because the secretary came up to me and she says, when do I have to sign up? And I said, you've got a few days. But I said, if you have any problems, I will call and make sure that you get in.
Oh, sisters, let's go down, come on down. Oh, sisters, let's go down, down in the river to pray.
They were just hungry. They were just hungry for something like that. I mean, that's the only thing I could explain. It was just something that the Spirit put within me to do. Because to go in front of a congregation, I mean, it was just the women, but still, I had to go to the front and turn around and talk. And I can do this in one-on-one in small groups, but not large groups. It was just something that started coming out of me. I can't explain it. And I knew that they were excited and they needed it, and I wasn't going to stop what was happening. And we were really pleased. But it was just because we didn't want to go through all the construction. I think God did that.
Isn't it amazing how God uses even our detours for His glory? If you'd be open to sharing about women walking with God as you are out and about or on your travels, we've created a couple tools that you can take along with you. You can find these resources on the information booth in the Northside lobby. Go ahead and grab a few, and just like Pat did, share them when the opportunity arises. Then come tell us about the connections that you make. We can't wait to hear what special opportunities God has in mind for you.
As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way.